It's nice out here today. It's cloudy, so it's not as hot as it has been. Might rain a little. It's not supposed to rain a lot. Might get a little shower. And I just wanted to show our grapes and apples. The grapes are not loaded, but they're doing good. So this is our Concord grapes. They are not loaded this year. And they have been before, but they weren't this year, I think. Don't know why, but they're doing good. Anyway, the apples, however, are loaded. So loaded that they are weighing our tree down really bad. So after this apple harvest, we are gonna have to probably trim some of that up. It has never done like this before. Let me zoom out here. Yeah. So as you can see, these bottom lower branches are just bent over from the loaded apples. So it is really, I'm just hoping it doesn't break a bunch of branches, but just loaded. And so hoping that it doesn't break branches after we harvest these. Some of them are really big too. These are Gala apples, and they don't get real big, but there are a few that are pretty good size. There's one right there. It's a pretty good size apple, and there's several like that. Most of them are just kind of medium size. You probably know what a Gala apple looks like, but there's several that are pretty big. We don't spray our apples. There's a big one. We don't spray our apples, so they do get some spots on them, but I just cut around those. I'll get a lot of them and let the grandkids have some. We have 14 grandkids, so I can split them up and let all the grandkids have some to just eat on. And usually, most years I have done some apple butter and apple pie filling. I don't know that I'll do that this year, but I might ought to since it is so loaded. I wasn't going to do that this year. Let me put it that way. Now, some of them do have bunch of spots on them, which we'll give to the horse and the rabbits that have a lot of spots on them, like that one. That one will probably go to the horse or the rabbits. And there's some on the ground. So even though it's loaded, there's going to be some waste out of that because we don't want to spray them. So we end up with spots. But we just cut around them and eat them anyway, and they are good. And they're not quite ready. Some of them are ready. Some of them are pretty red, but probably not quite ready. It's usually about September, 1st of September. It's usually ready. So anyway, good apple harvest this year. And the horse is waiting for me to give him some. I usually find there's always some on the ground. I can throw him a few from the ground. I wanted to show my herb garden. It is so weedy. It needs weeding. I've got tomatoes in here. I need to go get a basket and pick my tomatoes. My echinacea. This echinacea here. This echinacea here. I did harvest some this year already. I need to harvest a little more, but it is starting to dry out. It's gotten so dry here that it's starting to really die out prematurely. But there's some in there I could pick, and I'm fixing to water. I'm going to get the water hose out and water, because even though it's cloudy, I don't think we're going to get much rain. And my pepper plant looks really bad. 2 pepper plants look really bad, and the echinacea don't look good. And tomatoes are still doing good, but the weeds, I've got a lot of weeds in here. And I'm not real sure how that happened, because the first 2 years of having these raised beds, we didn't get any weeds in there. And then, I don't know, Lee says that, birds and things come by and drop seeds and stuff like that. I don't know what happens, but anyway, it does have a lot of weeds in it now. Here's I was going to show my other. Ooh, I got to get some of that lemon balm. I've got some lemon balm in there. My pepper plant is really wilted. I have got to get that watered right now. Anyway, lemon balm. I said lemon balm. Lemon basil. I've got some lemon basil over here that is about to seed. I need to really get some of that. There's weeds. There's my lavender plant. I have a lavender plant in here. And this smells so good. This is my lemon basil. I need to get that. It smells so good. And then that sage I've talked about is really going wild. And it seeds out. It spreads quite a lot. So I may have to dig some of that up and get some of that out of there. I see a lot of tomatoes. I need to go get a basket for sure. And my regular basil, I've used a lot of that. Anyway, so that's my raised bed herb garden. And I have mint here behind me. Lots of stuff. So I love sitting in my herb garden, and it's so nice today. It's been so hot, and now it's really nice today, so I'm loving it. But I got to get busy. But so I come out to water, and I probably won't weed, though I should, as nice as it is right now. It's not too hot, and I really should do some weeding. But I'm for sure going to water. And I was going to do a foraging video, but we have so many. We have so many foraging videos on just about everything we have on our property, except for some of the new things that we just found that I just done a video on. I didn't go into depth a whole lot on what they were good for, because we just found them and I haven't utilized those yet. The self-heal, I have utilized it. I do have some tinctures made with the self-heal, and this year I dried some for tea. And then I just found the St. John's wort, so I don't know as much about it yet. As far as I know some about St. John's wort, but I haven't used it myself to know as much as I should about it. But anyway, so if you missed that video, go back and check that last video out about what we found, which was St. John's wort. And we're always finding something new around here, so it's amazing. We have an extended playlist on foraging, so check those out. I'm going to put the links in the description below for both of those playlists, and please check those out, because there's a lot of good information in there. And I just wanted to maybe talk about a little bit about that God gives us everything. God gives us in the wild food and medicine. Most of the things are both food and medicine. And so I always say, if we utilized the wild food more, we would be healthier, because we would have that medicine at the same time. So the more foraging you do, going out and getting wild plants, most of them, I'm going to say all of them that are edible, are also medicinal. So as you're eating the wild plants in a salad or using them for a tea or just a smoothie or cooking them, whatever you're doing with them, the healthier you will be anyhow. So God just has blessed us like that. And I had someone say, talking about, kind of talking about not prepping because God would take care of them. And all I could think was, God already takes care of us. But you need to know what's out there. You need to know to forage. You need to learn to forage so that you can use what God's already provided. And the same person that said that doesn't forage, doesn't know much about foraging, as far as I know. And I thought, you better learn to forage, because yes, God gave it to us. God has manna all around us and has given us food and medicine, but you got to know about it and learn it. And yes, maybe God would give it to you when you need it, but why not learn it now so that when you need it, you know where to get it from, from God. It's still from God. It's just out there. It's out there now. You just got to know where to look for it and when to use it. So you need to learn those things. So I truly believe that God has blessed us with everything we need all around us. But we've lost that knowledge through the years, and now most people don't know. Most people don't know. It's time to learn. It's really time to learn. And we don't know everything. We just know what's on our property that we have already learned and used. And we have an extended playlist of that stuff. So go check that out, and grow you an herb garden too while you're at it, because an herb garden you can grow a lot of medicinal things that you don't find in the wild. There's probably something in the wild that would take the place of anything I have in this herb garden, but I don't know them all. So some of them I have to grow myself, so I do have them until I learn them. And we learn more every day. So there you go. And as far as prepping, we prep because so that we have it right then, right there. We have something stocked up. If we can't get to the store for whatever reason, we have it here. And people that say that confuse me, because they have insurance. Isn't that kind of the same thing? You keep health insurance and car insurance and house insurance, and isn't that kind of the same thing in a way? So, there's occasions when the store's not available or you can't get to the store. Wouldn't you rather have it here at your house and know where to go out in the woods and find it if you needed it? Anyway, that's my 2 cents there. That's just my 2 cents of the whole thing on people totally confusing me when they say not to stock up because God will provide. And I think God provides, but a lot of people have lost that knowledge or don't know that knowledge. That knowledge hasn't been passed down. And, God gives you the sense enough to store some up, at least, and grow a garden and save seeds so that you can grow the garden next year. And anyway, that kind of thought line just confuses me. I trust the Lord. I do. I trust the Lord. But I also trust that the Lord has something out there in the woods that I can use for what I need. And I also trust that the Lord has food out there that I can go find and eat. And He always does. It never fails. Never fails. We can walk out in the woods just about any time. Not as much in the wintertime, but some. But that's why we stock up, because he gives us all this in the summertime, and then a lot of it's gone for the wintertime, and you have to put some of it back for winter. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, y'all. So give me a comment, a thumbs up and comment. And if you're not subscribed, please do. And if you haven't watched our playlist of foraging videos, please do that. And if you have watched them, but it's been a while, go back through them. You might have missed something. So thanks for watching, y'all. Here's those Christmas beans I was talking about. I want to show you. I let them get dry. I like them better dried than, let me go over here. I like them better dried than fresh. They make a big old bean that you can cook. And open this one too. So, yeah, I like to let them dry and then use them as dry beans. And they make a big old healthy hearty bean that tastes good and can be cooked just like pinto beans or Great Northern beans or whatever. And but they make a big old bean more like a butter bean. I'm gonna lose that one in that hole there. They make a big old bean kind of like a big butter bean, and they are delicious. And there you go.